Today, a lot of things are happening in Nigeria, and health is not left out of these things that are happening. And one area of health that has gained a lot of attention in recent time has been the issue of cancer. My name is obasohan. I'm the chairperson of African Cancer Awareness Initiative. My specialist career is devoted towards caring for children that have blood diseases and cancer. Yes, if you know Senator John McCain in the US, said he just died of cancer a few days ago, and his burial ceremony is currently ongoing. Same thing with other people. Aretha Franklin equally died of cancer just a few days ago too, and the burial ceremony is ongoing. Then if you know Steve Jobs, the one that joined to create an iPhone, he also died of cancer, pancreatic cancer. He was a very rich man. If money could change the story, it would have changed. I'm telling you, the mega billionaire. But money couldn't change the story. And even in our local, in our country here, we heard about the story of Gani Faweimi. And the lady, the former chair of NAFDAC and other organizations. Yes, Dora Okun. Yes, Dora Okun. Now, cancer is rising fast. So that is why we must quickly talk about it. Is there anything we can do? Is there anything we can change about cancer? So this morning we'll just try and look at some of the habits we can do to prevent cancer. So my topic today is titled, Simple Habits to Prevent Cancer. Okay, at the end of this program, it is expected that these are my own outcomes that I've designed for us. That one, we should know what is cancer, and how does cancer cells differ from normal cells. Then two, what is its differences? What are the differences between benign and malignant tumors? I know we have heard about some people tell us, oh, they said this thing was benign, this thing was malignant. What do they mean? Then three, the cancer epidemiology. What is the magnitude of this problem of cancer in this world right now? Then we'll also look at the World Cancer Declaration 2009, then simple measures to prevent cancer, early detection, screening and prophylaxis, then conclusion. Okay, we'll start right away. Okay, now what is cancer? Now, to be able to understand the meaning of the word cancer, we need to look at what is normal, because cancer represents an abnormal state. So what is normal? Okay, now the normal human body is made up of cells. Human body has a lot of cells. We are all moving cells. We are all moving this conglomerate of cells. There are a lot of cells in our body. The eyes are made up of cells. The kidneys are made up of cells. Your fine skin, they are made up of cells. Even the hair, they are cells. Every part of our body, they are all made up of cells. Now cells are the basic living unit of the human body. When cells come together, they form tissues and they make up the different organs and systems in the human body. Now, there's an estimate by scientists that there are over 100 trillion cells in the human body. Now, because cells is what make up the human body, meaning now it is when one of these cells goes deranged and continue to multiply, that is when cancer happens. So the meaning is that cancer can arise in any part of the body as far as there are cells in that area. Now, what are the features of these normal cells? Now, normal cells have some characteristics. They are confined to particular regions of the body. I don't expect to find your eye in your leg. I don't expect to find I don't expect to find your teeth in the ovary. There are some tumors like that. You will find teeth, yes, in the ovary. Now, I don't also expect to find your nose in your chest. So that is how cancer cells behave. They don't stay in one place. They can move to anywhere they like. Then number two, normal cells, they grow in finely regulated pattern in the body. Because they grow in this finely regulated pattern, means that they grow by themselves, they maintain their boundary, they don't kill their neighbor, they don't destroy society. But cancer cells are not like that. They don't obey any of these societal norms. Now, the other differences are now normal cells in the body, they are specialized in function. The meaning is that cells have specific function. Your eyes, they are to see. Your ears, they are to hear. So those are specific functions in the body. So pancreatic cells, for example, they produce insulin to help control the blood sugar. So we don't expect that that lungs will start producing insulin. But there's a cancer they call old cell carcinoma of the lungs. It will start producing some abnormal chemicals, which can be reducing blood sugar. Now, so those are some of the features of cells. Then other features are now these cells, after some time, they grow, and after some time, they'll just die. And they'll be replaced by another in most cases. But in cancer cells, most times they don't like to die. They want to be immortal. They want to continue to live and live and live and live. Then another difference between then God so much designed the human body in such a way that even when all these cells go deranged, the body has inbuilt mechanisms to make sure that cancers don't grow. The meaning is that if this cell is bad now and is about to start cancer, there are some cells they call natural killer cells in the body. There are some genes that they call tumor suppressor genes in the body that make sure that they don't grow beyond that state. So those are the features of normal cells. Now let us see what happens in cancers. Now let us see what happens in cancer. Now, in talking about cancer, we're going to be hearing things like neoplasm. We hear things like tumors and all these terms. Now, these are various terms that we hear when we are discussing the issue of cancer. Now, a neoplasm means that the cell is abnormal, but this abnormality, is it cancerous or not cancerous? When it is not cancerous, they call the abnormality benign. When it is in the other realm, they call it cancer. Now, what is neoplasm? Neoplasm, they are abnormal cells in the body, abnormal mass of tissue. They continue to grow and grow and grow, and their growth is uncoordinated with other cells in the body, and they continue to grow despite removing the causes of what have made them to start growing. It means that this cell acquires some problems, it continues to multiply, and even when you remove what caused it, it does not stop. It will continue to move forward. Now, cancer usually results from one cell. Out of that, over 100 trillion, one cell going deranged. That is where cancer usually starts from. When that one cell acquires some character, so the cancer, they are said to be clonal. They are clonal. The meaning that they arise from one cell. Now, we have also heard the word tumor. Before, tumor just means that there's a swelling in the body. Like, for example, when a boy falls from a bicycle, his leg will swell a little, and that's what they were calling tumors then. But now, currently, when you mention tumor refers to cancers and all this. But when you mention it medically, we still know that there's differences between these tumors and these terms. Now, oncology is a branch of medicine that deals with the study of tumors and how to take care of people that have cancers. Okay, now, what makes this particular cell that have gone deranged benign? What makes this particular cell that have gone deranged malignant? What makes it to be cancerous? Now, there are some parameters we use to judge all these things in medicine. Some of these parameters, I've just tried to simplify. They are way beyond this. Now, some of these parameters are one, resemblance to normal cells. Now, if these cells goes deranged, but it still closely resembles normal cells in function and appearance, we say it is benign. But when it does not resemble it again at all, it's so far from it, we say it is malignant. Now, another thing we use for differentiating is ability to move from where they are. Now, if these cells go deranged and it remains in that place, we say it is benign. But in cancer, it's not like that. It will go deranged, it will not stay in that place, to move. You see breast cancer cells spreading to the lungs and to the brain. Now, the other feature we use for distinguishing the rate of growth and some other parameters we use. So, example of something that is benign in the body is uterine fibroid. The cells have gone bad, but they are still benign. They are not yet malignant. Okay, now, so cancers generally. So, in definition of cancer means that they are derived. Now, cancer is derived from Latin word for crab, meaning that they adhere to any part that they go to in an obstinate manner. So, it is this malignant type of cells that we call cancer. So when a cell has gone deranged and it possesses those characteristics that we listed, that is what we call cancers. Now, some tumors, they can grow so fast. In fact, there are some tumors that when the thing just starts, there's a tumor that they call Burkitt lymphoma of the jaw. When this cancer starts, within 1 week, the person Joe, can someone swear that you will not know who you used to know before? But there are some that are slow growing. They may not spread so fast. They may not follow dangerous course. But when we hear the word malignant, usually connotes some red flag that warrants some attention. Now, why should we talk about cancer in Nigeria? What is the use of talking about this cancer topic when there is problem of poverty, insecurity, and all? Now, it is now known that 1 out of every 3 persons will be diagnosed of cancer in their lifetime. And it has not stopped there. There is now a projection that by the year 2030, if nothing is done, 1 out of every 2 persons will be diagnosed of cancer in their lifetime. Those are the new projections that we have. Okay, now, according to recent statistics in Nigeria, over 100,000 Nigerians are diagnosed of cancer annually. And out of these over 100,000 that are diagnosed of cancer, about 80,000 of them die by conservative estimates. The meaning is that every day, about 240 Nigerians are diagnosed with cancer and dying of cancer. The meaning is that every hour, about 10 Nigerians are dying from cancer. So if this program will last for 3 hours, about 30 Nigerians would have died from cancer. So that is why we must talk about cancer. Now, globally, the incidence of cancer has been changed. In 2008, there were about 12.7 million cases of cancer with about 7.6 million deaths. But this has increased such that by the year 2012, the statistics has changed. Now you can see the rise in statistics that whereas 7.6 million died in the prior year, after that we're now having a case of 8.8 million people dying from cancer. Okay, because cancer disproportionately affects different countries. There are different countries that cancer disproportionately affects. There are developing countries and there are advanced countries. Now, in developing countries, the incidence is even worse, such that in developing nation, in developing nation, they account for about 56% of new cancer cases in the world. Apart from accounting for about 56%, they account for about 75% of new cancer deaths every day in the world. So the world, the Union for International Cancer Control to come outside with some declarations to be achieved by the year 2020. Some of them are listed. I'll just mention the one that are of importance to us. That the world must pay attention to the problem of hepatitis B. The world must pay attention to the problem of tobacco, to the problem of obesity, physical inactivity. Then the world must also pay attention to early screening and detection. That if all these things are put in place, we can expect changes to occur in no distant time. Okay, now in terms of cancer deaths, there are statistics from the year 2015 that when they took statistics of people that had died from cancer, what were these common cancer that they were dying from? They found out that lung cancer accounted for the most cause of cancer death at about 1.69 million, followed by liver cancer, colorectal cancer, stomach cancer, and breast cancer. Now, there are different. Now, when you compare men and women, in terms of men, cancers are more likely to occur in place they call the prostate, in the lungs, and in the colon, that is the inner region. Then in women, cancers are more likely to occur in the breast, in the lungs. But in developing nations now, there's a change in incidence of how these cancers present. In developing nations, in the men, the common cancer they find in men, they are stomach cancer, prostate cancer, liver cancer. Whereas in women, it is breast cancer and cervical cancer. There are more. In northern Nigeria, one of the commonest causes of cancer death in northern Nigeria is cervical cancer. While in southern Nigeria, one of the commonest causes of cancer death is breast cancer. Okay, now, are there simple ways are there things we can do to avoid cancer? Yes, there are different things we can do to prevent cancer. Some of the things to be born is to be at risk of cancer. So the meaning that everybody alive, they are at risk of cancer. The only way you cannot be at that risk is to never be born. As far as you have been born, everybody is at risk of cancer. But there are geographic variations on how these cancers exist. It now tells us that environmental influences play one of the greatest roles in causing cancer. Some people, they may have this inherent tendency to have cancer, but this cancer may not occur because of the good environment that they've put themselves in. Now some of these environmental